replies. I suppose it is surprising that I only have one shop, haven't sought to expand Arômes de Clémentine, or to capitalise on the success of my perfumes in awards and beauty columns. She asks why I don't make a virtue of my Provençal heritage, and all I can say is that enough brands are working that angle without me joining in. Not that I would register on my competitor's radar. Despite being trained by a professional nose, I have no official credentials, no diploma or corporate CV. That would have made a charming anecdote, a year with my aunt in Grasse. But it's not memories of beautiful landscapes and intoxicating scents that suddenly assault me. It's the events that led to being disowned by my wreck of a mother, to refusing food, and lying in a darkened room for so long that Tante Yvette had to flood it with patchouli to get me out. "Tell me something personal about yourself. Something surprising," Delphine asks, unaware how close she's already come to both. I am 46, and the mother of 2 grown-up children. That's not a story. I'm married to a man who found me on a perfume counter in a department store on Boulevard Haussmann. That's not a story I can tell. My job has saved me over and over, but only words can rescue me now. Delphine looks hopeful. Perfume is a way of expressing emotion, I blurt out. Sometimes it feels like the only way. Le parfum, c'est l'émotion, she paraphrases, all smiles. That would make the perfect title for the piece. Hold it. She raises her hand. The photographer's packing his kit away, but she asks for a last shot. The only one with no direction, or warning the shutter was about to fire. It would either be the best or the worst of the lot. No, you can't use that line. It's really banal and unoriginal. If I'd known she wanted clichés, we could have been done an hour ago. Pas du tout. It's touching, intriguing. It hints at everything you're not saying. But I'll tell my story sooner or later. Perhaps before I know how it ends. Chapter 2. 4 months later. It's said that nobody knows what goes on in a marriage except for the people in it, but even then, not always. Now it was just Édouard and me. It felt as if there must have been some mistake for us still to be together. In truth, there had been many. I found myself speculating about how our marriage had lasted, the way nosy acquaintances might, and probably did, and in the absence of answers, I moved quickly on to how and when it would end. What the rest of my life would be like if I were to spend it alone. Whenever my friend Martha asked, "What is it you actually want?" I treated it like an outlandish or rhetorical question. My desires were muffled voices in a corridor, too distant to make out. I hadn't dared to try. I was lucky to have my children, my health, a job I loved, a very comfortable life, for which some luxuries had to be sacrificed. That's only fair. I'm never going to be one of those women who think they can have it all. Darkness and daylight were fighting over the morning sky. At the end of the month, the clocks would change to winter time, the days get even shorter. But still, it would just be me and Édouard until one of us died, or simply couldn't stand it any longer. I was tired of waiting for it to be him. I was in a dark place, and a silent one. Our apartment had never been home to the dense, oppressive quiet that filled every room since Bastien left. It tormented me to think how I used to moan about the racket from whatever he was watching on YouTube, extreme mountain biking in Utah, weird conspiracy theories, rap hits with the misogynistic lyrics I can't stand, and he claims not to notice. When other mothers equated their sense of loss when the kids had gone with bereavement, I used to think they were being dramatic, or a little too keen to emphasise their devotion. That is, until it happened to me. Some days everything feels like grief. In reality, Bastien was alive and well and still in Paris, but that was slim comfort given the circumstances of his departure. Édouard was very late leaving for work. Normally he was gone before I got up, and the time before I set off to open the shop used to be my favourite part of the day, until all inspiration...